Hello everyone, welcome to another season of First Touch. I'm your host, Oscar Avalar. Before I go any further, let me just inform you on a couple changes that have been made. Unfortunately, my co-host, Bicker Michael, has graduated. Well, fortunately for him, but he has moved on to bigger and greater things, so we thank him for his time here, developing and growing the show in the first season. But we're going to have to keep this ball rolling. Again, I'm Oscar. Remember me from last season? I'm here to cover European football, anything that goes on in the soccer world, cover local news. Well, let's get started, shall we? First Touch Season 2. Let's get this thing going. Bayern Munich, the Bavarian Giants, have conquered the sextuple. Of course, the only club to do that before was Barcelona in 2009. And, well, we have another FCB joining the ranks of the sextuple. Bayern Munich, of course, won 6 titles, and the most recent one being the Club World Cup against Tigres from Mexico in the final. A 1-0 win with a goal from Benjamin Pavard to lift the Bavarians up and conquer the world, really. It really wasn't a surprise. Bayern have been dominant the entire season. Ever since Hansi Flick took over the club, they've just been dominant. In fact, they have more titles than losses under Hansi Flick. So that's something something to marvel at. That's crazy. I think Madrid had a similar stat when Zidane first took over. But regardless, congrats to the Bavarian Giants. Huge feat. Again, only one club has done it before. They now have 2 trebles each. And here I just wish as a Madrid fan that we would have one. But hey, congrats to them. And big shout out to Tigres, by the way. The first CONCACAF champion to make it to the final of the Club World Cup. That's an amazing feat. No club has ever done that before. Of course, they always exit in the earlier rounds. But if it was one team that had to make it, it would have been Tigres. They, in my opinion, have been the greatest CONCACAF Champions League team of the decade. Of course, Monterrey and America have more titles in that department, but Tigres have just been a bit more dominant in terms of play style. Andre Pierre Gignac, ever since he joined, they've been better. They keep getting big name signings, and they just keep developing. So, big credit to them. Again, first CONCACAF side to make it to the final. And they held Bayern to only 1 goal. So that's something. Congrats to them. Liverpool. They're in a bit of a free fall right now. It looks like Man City's going to run away with the league. The Premier League doesn't look as exciting anymore, as City is just far too dominant now. As the time of this recording, City are 12 points ahead, and Liverpool have just taken another loss, a disastrous loss, to Leicester City. Of course, we are in a bit of a situation where we have to grieve for Jurgen Klopp's mother. Of course, it was revealed this past week that she passed away, and one could say that the results and Klopp's personality have changed ever since the news broke out. Of course, our thoughts are with him, and we hope he continues his previous happy self, motivating self, as in this press conference he just gave, he actually just conceded the title. So, terrible news for Liverpool fans, but hope you guys bounce back soon. Chelsea. They're doing great. New manager Thomas Tuchel has gone undefeated with the Blues ever since the departure of Frank Lampard. Of course, it's with heavy hearts that he had to leave. I personally am a huge Lampard fan. And I mean huge Lampard fan. I mean, I have his jersey. He was my favorite player. It's really quite sad. Bittersweet for me and a lot of Chelsea fans, but it seems like it was for the better. Thomas Tuchel is steering them in the right direction at the right time. Of course, he doesn't have much time to configure his squad, but with the time that he has, he may actually jump into the top 4 this weekend. So we shall see. They play Newcastle on Monday for a chance to enter the top 4 for the first time in a bit. In other news, Barcelona is in bankruptcy. They're in debt. And a lot of it could be stemming from the contract that they gave to Messi, actually. The loyalty fees and the ginormous contract that they gave him. It was recently revealed that they were giving him this amount of money over 4 seasons. It's astronomical. Who leaked it? I don't know. Could it be someone linked to the previous presidency of President Bartomeu? Who knows? Of course, they were butting heads. Messi wanted to leave after last season. And, well, for a team that's struggling and restructuring, they're doing pretty well. They're sitting second in La Liga, tied on points with Real Madrid, but ahead on goals. Now, for a team that's restructuring, that's not that bad. Of course, it looks terrible because they they gave Luis Suarez to Atletico Madrid for nothing, for peanuts. They just gave him away. And now he's the lead goal scorer of La Liga, and Atletico is sitting pretty at top of the table. So, Atletico de Madrid is just at the top, and really it's their league to lose. If they don't come out as the winners, then I don't know. Might start rumors of them being frauds. I don't know. I didn't say that. Anyways, in Italy, Serie A, it's a huge title race. It doesn't look like there's a clear-cut winner, but Milan is in the lead right now. Of course, Milan hasn't won in a decade. The last season they won was 10-11, and that was spearheaded by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who, again, is back at the club. Of course, under different managers, 10 years ago they had Max Allegri, and now they have Stefano Pioli. And, of course, at the beginning of his tenure, the Milan fans were not happy with his appointment, but hey, he's got you to the top of the table, so I think opinions have changed a little bit. So, congrats to them, but the season isn't over. They're still in the Europa League. Other title contenders like Inter Milan, they had a dismal European campaign, of course finishing 4th in their group, below Mönchengladbach, Real Madrid, and Shakhtar. Nothing to prove, nothing to show. They've just recently been knocked out of the Coppa Italia by Juventus. So, really, this is all they have fighting for. If Inter doesn't win the title, then, I don't know. Fingers got to be pointed at Conte, because this should be the thing he wins. He hasn't won anything with them yet. Of course, his track record in Europe is terrible, but I don't know. Can Inter really survive another trophyless season under Conte? I know his contract is big and they can't really fire him right now, but they might need to look at replacements. Juve, of course, not out, down but not out. They're sitting in the European spots, a couple points away. I wouldn't knock them out yet. They're still in it. They're in the Coppa Italia final. They're still in Europe, so we'll see how they go. They might have a chance at Europe, honestly. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo turns it up in the playoffs in the Champions League, so we'll see how their campaign goes. American Weston McKennie is doing really well over there, so congrats to them. DC United have had their new coach arrive in the area. He arrived this past week, and he's ready to get it rolling. Of course, the season starts in April. The preseason and training begins early March. Hernan Losada, previously from Beerschot in the Belgian league, is ready to take over. Of course, he takes over from the decade-long tenure of former coach and player Ben Olsen, who had his ups and downs, but he did bring silverware in the form of the U.S. Open Cup. So he will hope to replicate that silverware and much more. He offers to bring a new attacking style football, an attractive style that will surely bring fans to the stadium. We hope the best for the upcoming season for DC United. Of course, it's less than a month away until training starts and 2 months away until the start of the season. So I'm very excited. You should be too. The new jersey has actually been released as well, and I think it looks nice. I might pick it up myself. It's time for the UCL Roundup. Guys, I'm going to give some predictions here. This week's games are RB Leipzig versus Liverpool and Barcelona versus PSG. In the latter, of course, Neymar is out injured. He won't be able to revisit his old teammates at Barcelona and rekindle that fight. Of course, he has something to prove against them, and I'm sure Barcelona doesn't want to face him either. Of course, Messi definitely wants to see him again. But hey, it looks like we're going to have to wait. We don't really know if he will be able to play in the second leg, but there's that. Of course, I want to see a full-strength squad against a full-strength squad, but if we're not able to see that, hopefully in the second leg, I hope we see a great matchup. It looks like Barca, right now they're losing a couple games. They lost, of course, to Sevilla in the Copa del Rey, but they might bounce back from that. I mean, they were low in La Liga at the beginning of the season, and they look to be fine now. So, we'll see. My prediction for this matchup, I'm going to say PSG goes through. I'm going to say the curse still goes on. Of course, Barca's not out of the Copa del Rey yet, but I think they're going to be bounced out by Sevilla. I think they're going to go trophyless, and I think PSG is also going to contribute to that by knocking them out. And it's going to be at the hands of former players, Rakitic, who knocked them out. Well, not yet, but Rakitic scored a goal in the game against Sevilla, former player. And this time around, hopefully Neymar does something in the second leg. Let's see. And Atletico, of course, Suarez is scoring goals like crazy, so I don't think they're going to win La Liga either. Three former players might contribute to their downfall for this season, but we shall see. In RB Leipzig versus Liverpool, I'm going to say RB Leipzig is going to take this. Right now, they're sitting second in the Bundesliga, playing well, and just by logical reasoning from last season, Atletico did knock out Liverpool, and then Leipzig did knock out Atletico, and Liverpool's in terrible form right now. So I wouldn't put it past the Germans to push past the Liverpool players, especially with the defense that they have right now. Of course, they bought a couple signings to replace their already injured defensive core, but even Alisson, their goalkeeper, is making terrible mistakes, and this might not look good. I think Leipzig goes through. We shall see the other legs, but that's going to be my prediction for both matchups. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for another episode of First Touch. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see on the next one. Let me know about this new setup. Let me hear from you guys. What do you guys think about all the topics we discussed today? I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. Of course, you can hit me up right here. I'm Oscar Avalar. This has been First Touch. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, and work on your first touch.